Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another TBR Racing Stacks game where I play this fun little game that I'm really bad at to work out what I will be reading over the next few weeks. Now, I'm going to start with the books that I have to read in May because I've already made obligations, and I'm going to explain a thing before we then get on to my racing stacks and my full TBR. So, first things first, the Dead Famous read-along. This is supposed to be in May's TBR, right? That was the plan. That was the thing that I said last month, was that I would do Dead or Alive again because we had had a bit of a hiccup, and then we would have a Grimoire live, and then I would do this one. Except I finished the Grimoire and this the weekend this came out, and then I went to go and see a very nice, very nice author named Derek Landy, and he gave me a cheeky little sign thing. And then he drew a skull in my book and we had a lovely time. So the live show for that will be the first Saturday of May. I hope to see you there. Make sure you read it. I'm so excited to know what you think, but it means that moving forwards, I have no Derek Landy books in my TBR. So the Dead Famous read-along has come to an end. Let me know in the comments down below what series you think I should do a read-along for next. But this should have been in my TBR and isn't because the live show is in a couple of weeks. So I'm devastated. Next is the Luna Book Club book. This is a book club I host over on my Discord, so it is almost a Discord exclusive, except I do it through Waypoint, so you can buy the book and it'll be a surprise for you. Like, if you want to talk about the book, you have to be on Discord, but you don't have to be on Discord to buy the book, if that makes sense. Anyway, the book for this month, again, is a complete surprise, but it is a BIPOC debut. It is part 1 of a duology, and the author has agreed to do a virtual Q&A, so bear that in mind when thinking about treating yourself to another book club book. Definitely worth it this time. Really excited for that one. I promised my friend that I would read The Girl with All the Gifts, so that is on my TBR for that reason alone. I'm doing, obviously, the Lamentable Library. Our book for May is An Interview with a Vampire. Now, I have put the other 2 Anne Rice books in this trilogy on my TBR as well, but they're considerably bigger than this one. This is a TBR vet, so I'm quite excited to clear this off my shelf and to know what Kelly thinks. I'm also excited to know what Kelly thinks about the Turnouts because we will be buddy reading this as well. So those are 2 more books for the TBR before I even get started, and hopefully I can buddy read The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea with Lizzie from Lizzie's Elf. She is my flatmate, we get on really well, we have very different high fantasy tastes, but I think we're going to mutually agree on this, that this is going to be great. I'm really excited for this one, and it's just so goddamn pretty. That is my TBR before I've even racing stacked. So I've been reading, actually I did much better last month's reading. I read at least 12 books, so I did better last month than I did the previous month with only 4 books, but it is what it is. So anyway, I will cut to a clip of me doing racing stacks, and just so you know before I start, I am also hosting a middle grade specific readathon for my Discord only peeps as well. So if you want to be part of that and you are interested in reading more middle grade in May and you want access to all the lives and everything else that we'll be doing around that teeny tiny little readathon, you will need to be in the Discord and the link is down below. So there will be a lot of middle grade in this. Okay, so my game plan is to collect as many middle grade, which is the little puzzle piece squares, as I can, hopefully so that my entire TBR becomes middle grade books, and it means that doing the middle grade madness will kind of amalgamate all of those things together, if that makes sense. So let's... I'm like still really bad at this game that I helped create. Okay, right, there are no puzzle pieces. Where are the puzzle pieces? Might get away with the sci-fi one. Oh, I think that was a candle. There's another candle. Where are my puzzle pieces? There's loads of a bunch of other things, but there are no puzzle pieces. Where are my puzzle pieces? Oh, there's one. Ha! Okay, we've got one middle grade. We just need another 7 more. I think this is the longest I've ever played one. Okay, we've got 3 middle grades. Go for a romance as well, why not? Spice up. Oh, another romance, there we go. Come on, middle grades. Middle grades, middle grades. I think this is the best that I've ever done at like avoiding things. Nope, didn't avoid that one. Oh, okay, right. So we have science fiction favourite author. That's going to be interesting because I'm not a massive fan of science fiction anyway. Mystery, feed, scroll, Twitter. Shouldn't be too difficult because actually Twitter is not too bad when it comes to mysteries. Literary fiction last time was tricky, but I think we might be alright with mystery. Matches my outfit. Do I have... Actually, I think I might have a mystery that matches this outfit, you know? As much as it's literally just like, you know, leggings and shit. Don't know why I did that. Okay, a middle grade set in summer, perfect. A middle grade audiobook and a middle grade booktube TBR game. Which means I get to go and watch someone else's TBR game and take it from their TBR. Interesting. Romance, poll pick, a booktube favourite, non-fiction feed scroll, Twitter pick again, which again might not be too difficult, and horror, lowest rated. It's not that bad, but because there's like more mystery on there than I want more middle grades. I think I'm going to have to go back in and try and get some more middle grades, because 3's good, but it's not great. Considering out of like the 10 prompts, it's only 3. No, I'm going to try again. We're going to try again. I've got 2 more goes, so I might as well aim for more middle grades. So come on, where are them middle grades? Come on. Oh, there's one. Aha, got one. Oh, and a romance. Let's grab a romance as well. I'm just in the mood for some romance. I think it's the summer. It just makes me want some more romance. I mean, I've read a lot of gothic books recently, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but... Come on, where are the middle grades? I've got a couple of romances now. Another middle grade. The science fiction one was tricky because I don't have a favourite science fiction author. Unless you count Brian K. Vaughan, in which case Saga is probably my favourite. And Joss Whedon does some great sci-fi shows, but he's a problematic arsehole, so don't really want to read stuff from him if I can help it. I guess I could have read a Star Wars thing, because I like Star Wars. Another middle grade. Another middle grade. Come on, give me that middle grades. There's another one. I think my computer's finally started listening to me and has worked out what I'm after, because it is throwing a lot more middle grades up than it did last time. There we go. And we got a fantasy cat pick at the end as well. Okay, so we have middle grade mood read. Perfect. Perfect. Romance matches my outfit. Have I got a wilderness / dodgy leggings romance? Possibly not. We shall see. Another middle grade mood read. Romance monsters. Okay. Okay, I know what I'm going to read for that one. Middle grade lowest rated. Interesting. Middle grade random page generator. Middle grade monsters. Fall and spooky vibes. Intimidating read. And then cat pick. Yeah, that is a lot more what I was looking for. So yes, this we're going for. Okay, so I have my own TBR organised by page number as it is anyway, so I'm going to put in the lowest page number that I have, which is 52. And then I'm going to scroll to the top to see what the highest middle grade I've got is. Because I know it's not going to be War and Peace. War and Peace is not a middle grade. Come on. It's not even loading all of them, there's so many. Okay, so... highest middle grade is going to be 508, which is Demon Road by Derek Landy. I'm assuming it's middle grade. Could be YA, but I'm going to assume it's on the cusp. So we'll say 508 is my max. And then generate 199. Okay, that's great. Okay, so we start at the bottom and work our way up. So 199. Okay, Baby Teeth may be a middle grade. I know that it's novel in verse. But the one that is definitely a middle grade and closest is going to be How to Train Your Dragon. So that first prompt, easy peasy lemon squeezy, is going to be How to Train Your Dragon. Okay, so I've done my racing stacks. I am back with my stack of books. Obviously, I actively went out of my way to get lots of middle grade on this TBR and it worked out in my favour. Now, I'm not going to tell you what is on the middle grade madness TBR bingo boards, because like I said, that is for Discord only people, but I will tell you if some of these books cross over with some of the other prompts. I'm also not going to read the books in the list, they were on that sheet, because I can't remember what order they were in, and I've moved these books around too many times now. So the first one I'm going to tell you about is the middle grade lowest rated, and we have Lucy Worsley's Lady Mary. This is a middle grade historical fiction all about Lady Mary, or Mary Tudor as she was before she becomes the Queen. It is her during her childhood, I believe. Now I bought this in Corsham 3 years ago and I haven't read it yet, which classifies it as a TBR vet, unfortunately, and it is also the lowest rated on Goodreads, which does not bode well, but I need to clear it. I either need to read it or unhaul it, so I feel like May is the time to do that. Next was the middle grade random page generator of How to Train Your Dragon. Look how retro this cover is. This is the original. This is like proper Dragonese middle grade. I'm very excited to read this. And another TBR vet that the illustrations are just so cute. Where's that little map gone? Like, this is just, I just love this. This is so cute. And it's actually in really good nick. I don't know where I got that. This must be a charity shop find. That's confusing. I'm confused by that one. Anyway, so yeah, that's the next one. Next was a romance with monsters. And I thought I had TBR'd this book before, but I think I nearly TBR'd this and then swapped out for something else. Or it was the first book that I TBR'd for Romance with Monsters back in December, but I'm going to be putting A Strange Hymn, which is book 2 in the Bargainer series. It's a monster romance. Basically the main character is a siren and she has like got loads of favours from this bargainer, and now he's basically coming for her soul and making her do bad things, and it's very sexy. Unfortunately, Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction didn't enjoy book 2 as much as she enjoyed book 1, which worries me a little bit, but I've got it now, so I'm going to read it, and I'm really excited. If this isn't the first book I read in May, I'll be hella surprised. It's a romance that matches my outfit. A t-shirt that says Wilderness and really bizarre trousers. And it did kind of remind me of this book, which is another TBR vet. Now I put this back on my TBR because I need to reread it. I have since read other Sarah Manning books and they were bad. They were really bad. They were incredibly misogynistic, incredibly like problematic, incredibly fatphobic. Didn't like any of that. But I really enjoyed this when I read it first. And it's about a young girl who is a blogger who basically is like enemies to lovers. She finds out that her boyfriend is leaving her for this other girl, and the boyfriend of that girl also finds out that he's being left for this other boy, and they just don't get it. Like, both of them kind of like share this camaraderie, and they're like, but we're better than that. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? So it's this really funny thing, and they end up kind of like falling in love with each other, but there is also stuff about like child neglect and being left on her own, and I just remember really enjoying it. And I also remember it being that thing that was like, yeah, I could absolutely make a living blogging. That's absolutely a thing I could do. This is the book that kind of inspired that. So I am nervous going in because if I don't like it now and I have to unhaul it, I built my business on a lie. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't, but it is kind of the thing that like inspired me to, anyway. But then we have middle grade fall and spooky vibes. Now I'm not entirely sure this is actually a middle grade and not a YA, but this is a forbidden magic type story. The cover looks really spooky, and I remember like really looking it up when I like first wanted to buy it, and I haven't really read anything about it since. I've not seen anyone else talk about it, so I'm going to kind of go in as blind as I can with this one because I think that will help me enjoy it more. Then we have middle grade monsters. Now I checked my spreadsheet to see if I had TBR'd this before, and I have, but not this year. I've carried it over, which doesn't count, which means that I get to TBR it 3 more times and apparently avoid it 3 more times. I don't know why I haven't just read this book, because I got the second one and I did enjoy the first few chapters that I read. I then just put it down and never picked it up again. So, need to read it. Monsters of Rookhaven is essentially about like a found family of monsters, and these two human twins fall into this realm and kind of get taken in by this crazy monster family. It's like Adam's Family, but there's a really dark presence in their building as well, and I'm excited to see how that plays out. I get the impression that this and Gallant are very much on par, not just with writing style, but like the vibe and the plot. So if you liked Gallant, you'll probably like this. Then we have Fantasy Cat Pick. Now I'm not going to spoil it, I'm just going to cut to a clip. You going to pick a book for me? Pick a book for me. Come on, what's this? Come on. She's now playing with all of the post-it notes, so I keep tearing off these books and chasing them across the room, which is very cute. But Percy chose Queen of the Conquered, which is a Caribbean-themed BIPOC fantasy about a young woman who is basically the great-granddaughter of a Caribbean witch who slowly but surely takes over the island. It was super, super dark when I first started it, and again, it wasn't one that I was necessarily... The writing style was quite dense and I struggled with it a little bit, but I'm excited to get back to it again. Next is middle grade mood reads, and we have The House of Chicken Legs. This is actually a charity shop copy that I treated myself to when I discovered it, because I've seen Sophie Anderson a lot on Twitter, and she always really supports smaller booktubers, which I really appreciate, and she always champions really great middle grade rep. So I was like, I need to just get to it. I need to just finally pick it up, because again, what am I waiting for? And once again, this transfers over to the middle grade madness bingo board. Next is middle grade mood read again, and I've gone for Amari and the Night Brothers, and this carries over to the middle grade madness for one of the prompts. Now again, I thought I had TBR'd this year, but I didn't. I TBR'd it in December, so... and then carried it over. Still didn't read it. I don't know why I didn't read it. I genuinely don't know why I didn't read it. I just need to get off my arse and do it, because it's just... I know it's going to be great. And I don't know if maybe just I'm a little intimidated by how much I'm going to like it. It's so pretty. So pretty. So pretty. I need to just read it. What am I waiting for? I need to read it. And finally, we have middle grade intimidating reads, and I have gone for The Blackbird Girls. Now this isn't necessarily intimidating because it's a particularly big book or anything like that, but it is about Chernobyl and it is set in the Ukraine, and that is kind of intimidating at the moment because of what is going on in the world, you know, just like in general, and I have a horrible feeling this is going to really hit home in a way that is going to emotionally destroy me. Sometimes I need that, sometimes I don't. So I don't know if this was the best choice I could have made, but I'm not intimidated by a lot of things when it comes to books, because I'll just put them down, have a cup of tea and think about it again later. So with that in mind, this was the closest I could get to an intimidating read, if that makes any sense. So I'm really excited about that one. That is about two young girls who are kind of from opposite ends of the spectrum wealth-wise, that are kind of joined together when Chernobyl just like is destroyed, when Chernobyl erupts, and they have to get out quickly. But I know that there are trigger warnings for bereavement and things like that. So there we go. There is my very, very middle grade heavy with a couple of romance palette cleansers TBR. Really excited for that. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, and if so, what did you think of them? Which ones do you think I should start with? I will probably start with A Strange Hem. Exactly. Treat yourself to something from Waypoint because it helps support me and my content, and other than that, have a nice day.